lots of success last night for Rutherford County teams. We're going to look at that on the Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard. And I know you're thinking, gosh, you're a little early this morning. Well, yes, we are. We're making way for Middle Tennessee football. Pregame starts at 10:30. It's the Salute to Veterans at MTSU. Pregame tailgating, breakfast tailgating going on right now. So be sure to head on over there 12 o'clock for the kickoff for that one. And we'll have it here on WGNS. But we do have high school football coaches conversation in between time. So we'll keep our normal rotation in terms of who we'll have on. The times are a bit different, except for the first 45 minutes or so. And 30 minutes earlier, if that makes sense. Riverdale, Smyrna, and Blackman between now and 9:15 this morning. Then Oakland at 9:15, Stewart's Creek 9:30. At 9:45, we'll have Eagleville conversation, and MTCS Cougar Corner will be on your way at 10 o'clock. And then that Middle Tennessee football game. So what are the scores from last night? If you're just now waking up and wonder how your favorite teams did, well, here we go. The Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard. We were at Stewart's Creek for their game with Independence, and pretty good game between a 1 and 4 seed. Actually, we had some very interesting games between 1 and 4 seeds, and last night it was Stewart's Creek pulling out the 20-14 victory over the Eagles, and Stewart's Creek wins their first ever playoff game. After 6 attempts, got that first one last night, and a nice one for the Redhawks as they will host next week as well. The Oakland Patriots rolled over Lebanon 41-0 to end the season for the Blue Devils. Going back, in the history, that never hurts as much as you would think to beat Lebanon for Oakland High School. Riverdale Warriors, speaking of old rivals, taking on the Cookeville Cavaliers, and it was a 35-14 victory for Riverdale over Cookeville. Blackman 45, Green Hill 14. That was Blackman as the 4 seed taking on the undefeated 10-0 Green Hill team. 45-14, the victory for the Blackman Blaze. Brentwood got past Smyrna last night, 37-21. It was Eagleville 14, Houston County 6. Houston County up 6-0, 14 straight by the Eagles for the victory. Middle Tennessee Christian School got up 28-0, and then it was 28-14, and then they poured it on. They won it by a final of 41-14 last night. And on Thursday night, it was Franklin Grace 37, PCA 7. So with the teams that are left in the playoffs, the matchups next week are Riverdale versus Smyrna at Riverdale High School. That will be our broadcast game next Friday night, by the way. Oakland versus Mount Juliet. It's Stewart's Creek hosting Brentwood. Eagleville travels to McKenzie, and Middle Tennessee Christian School going to Nashville Christian. So that is a look at the teams that we have coming up. Or the games coming up for you next week. Okay, here we go. Stay tuned. We've got Riverdale Smyrna Blackman conversation between now and 9:15. Danny Brewer will handle that. And then I'll be in for Oakland and Stewart's Creek talk between 9:15 and 9:45. And then John will wrap us up this morning on the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Are you tired of feeling like just another number with your insurance provider? At Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, Agent Rick Hall prides himself on offering personalized service that puts you first. Every client's needs are unique. From personal home and auto coverage to tailored business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, where you're more than just a policy number. You're a neighbor.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom design jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northfield Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin, who will work with you to develop a complete tailored strategy to help you achieve your financial goals. That's Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin. I'm Danny Brewer. Welcome to the Coaches Show. I'm better than Babe Ruth at a hot dog stand right now because I've got Will Kreisky, mastermind of Riverdale football, sitting right here beside me. Coach, how are you this morning?
Doing all right this morning. I don't know about mastermind, but I'm here.
Well, Coach, hey, when you can wear it, you wear it. And today you can wear it because big win yesterday, first round of the playoffs. You've been doing this for a little bit. Jitters, is it? I mean, because the first round it's 0, everybody's 0-0. So talk a little bit about what you did this week to try to keep your team focused and feet on the ground and all that stuff, especially coming off of last week of the regular season, you played Oakland and big game, all that stuff. So talk about how you kept your team focused this week.
Well, a little bit different than last year, coming off from a loss. And I don't think there was much I needed to say to get them refocused. They came back to work, ready to work. Last week and focused on Cookeville and what they need to do. We've always had tough battles with Cookeville, and we respect them and what they do, and they have a great program over there, and it's always been a tough battle between our two programs. So kids came ready to play, listened to Coach Barnes and Coach Rail and their staffs on the game plans, and went out and practiced and had a good week of practice and kind of focused again on started paying attention to the little details that you need to pay attention to this time of year if you're going to keep playing and keep advancing in the playoffs. And they did a good job. The first half is 7-7 game, and it's a tight game, and kids never fret and came back and played the second half and, played extremely well. And I'm proud of them and proud of how they handled adversity last night. Like you said, first round, it's 0-0. Anybody's game. I saw in West Tennessee, Mumford, 10-0 team got beat last night in the first round, so any of those upsets are possible in the first round. So I'm proud of my guys and the way they played and the coaching staffs and the way they had these guys prepared last night. Because
I know that oftentimes people put a little bit more emphasis on the playoffs. You've had a great regular season. You really did. Riverdale football played fantastic through 10 weeks. So because there's so much emphasis on the playoffs, there's a little bit extra butterflies, I guess, for you especially, because you go in and you want to, because you were the number 2 seed and you're supposed to win, and you did win.
Exactly, and it is a little bit of added pressure, but you can't let the kids see that. The kids need to know, and the kids have to be confident. And they were ready to play, and they believe in themselves, and they believe in the coaching staffs. And there was part of during the game when it was tight, and JoJo Smith said, "'Cause we good, we're gonna be all right." And that's what they did. And then in the second half, he come back and patted me on the shoulder and said, "Well, I told you we'll be all right." But, these kids and these seniors, it's a player-led team, and they do a great job leading each other, and they battle for each other and fight for each other, and they get along with each other, and it's been fun. They're a really fun group to be around and help prepare. And, we got another tough week ahead of us. And but again, it's second round of playoffs, 16 teams left in 6A, and I don't think there's any easy games out there.
I think that you're absolutely right, Coach. Now, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about horse racing somehow in this. We're going to talk about a horse who's running today at Churchill Downs as Master of Foxhounds. All right,
Uh-oh.
Phil D'Amato trained. He's coming from the West Coast. The Master of Foxhounds was you last night. Your foxhound you turned loose was DJ
Yes,
Taylor. 17 rushes, I think 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Because in the playoffs, running the football, of course, anytime running football is good, but in the playoffs especially, running the football is key.
It is. It's really a big key. And he had 2 rushing touchdowns, and he also had a kickoff return for a touchdown, and he caught a touchdown pass. DJ was feeling a little sick yesterday morning, and I was stressed out. But I don't know if he's going to play like that. I hope he's sick next Friday.
Yeah, it's crazy how sometimes when things like that happen, kid's ill or you think he's dinged up with an injury, and then he has a big game. Crazy how that worked out, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's a senior, and he, the O-line, did a great job blocking for him because Cook was really big up front, and they gave him some creases, and he was able to hit those creases, and he got the extra tough yards. I know he's sore today, and he didn't go down on first contact, and that's the kind of yardage we need in the playoffs. And he did his job. Malachi Taylor did a great job leading the offense. Receivers, when they got their number called, they caught the ball, made some plays, and all of them did. From Fletcher to Malik Hicks to Cam Booker, they all caught the ball well and got some extra yards, which also was able to help open up some more yards for DJ in the backfield.
Those tough yards, like you said, that's what you look for because that can oftentimes set the tone for what you're going to do offensively.
Yeah, and be able to move the chains. And last night was, there was times when they were playing, a little ball control in the first half, and they were getting 2 or 3 yards and 2 or 3 yards, and we played a lot of defense in the first half, a lot, and because we scored on our first offensive possession last night, and then went straight back to defense, and then they held us 3 and out. So I think the first half we didn't have but like 12 to 15 plays, and the rest were on defense. So our defensive guys were tired, but the offense picked it up in the second half and was able to balance it out and gave those defensive guys some rest. And the defensive guys finished the game off, and I'm extremely proud of how they played for 4 quarters. Cookville's quarterback is an unbelievable kid. He's a talented kid, and I was really impressed with him. But I mean, I knew what that quarterback could do because he played really hard last year against us.
So let's talk a little bit about your quarterback. You mentioned him earlier, Malachi Taylor, 9 for 15, 101 yards, touchdown, and he ran for a touchdown too. What he does for you offensively as far as just running the show, talk about that.
Well, Malachi's he's calm. Nothing really bothers him. And he just runs the offense. He doesn't do anything crazy or extraordinary. He just manages the offense, does what Coach Barnes tells him to do. Make sure the guys gets the right spots, and when his number's called to throw the ball, he throws it to the guys, and his receivers catches it, and and he directs, get everybody lined up, and his just even keel demeanor kind of helps keep people stay calm.
Well, it's essentially mistake-free football is what you're looking for him, right?
Yeah, I mean, we go as our quarterback go on offense, and he did a good job last night leading them and keeping everybody under control and staying calm during adverse situations.
So you mentioned your defense. You have been known in the past for being a defensive genius and and really getting your kids to play. And that's the key is you get your kids to play, because that's been the strength of Riverdale football the last several years is you guys ain't afraid to hit somebody in the mouth, and you do. So talk about your defense and what you did last night.
No, when I got the job in 2016, we really want to stress about playing some defense. And, I hired Chase Brooks, and then Chase left and took a head coaching job. And you talk about a genius. We went out and got Zach Rail, and he's done a phenomenal job. I just stepped back and let him do his thing. He gets the kids in the right spots. He makes the right calls. He manages his defensive staff really well, and those kids play really, really hard. He always has 2 linebackers in the middle running the football, and he moves JoJo Smith around to where nobody, people can't pick up where he's coming from. And then, J.C. Haynes is coming off the edge, and those guys play really hard for him, and they love it. They want a goose egg. I know Cookville. We had to tell them Cookville's a good football team. And they were upset they gave up 14 points last night, but you love that mentality. I mean, Cookville was driving at the end of the game, and we had some backups in, and you could see the kids, the starters on the sideline cheering when we stopped them, and they didn't get in the end zone because they got inside the 10. And that's just the kind of pride the defense takes. They don't want anybody to score, and when you have that mentality of it doesn't matter who's in on the defensive side, you don't want them to score, and they're all cheering for each other to keep people out of the end zone, then you do have good results.
Well, and that's team philosophy, and that's what you want.
Yes, and they all cheer for each other and fight for each other, and that's like when we talked about the Oakland loss last week. It wasn't just one phase of the game. We made mistakes last week on the offense. We turned the ball over. In special teams, we turned the ball over last week, and defensively, we missed some tackles. And so the team took ownership in that loss, and they went back to work and fixed it last week.
So this week, Blackman comes to town. Huge inter-county rival. Plus, it's Kreisky Bowl 2.0. Your brother's on the other sideline. Big week for you for many reasons, but talk about how you'll approach this week.
I mean, it's a second-round game. So, we got to approach it, with that same mentality we have all year and get ready to play. And they've had a tough schedule, and they've battled through, and they're going to be ready to play. And it's anybody's ball game next week. And they're going to be physical. They preach defense, and they preach running the football, so we have to be prepared, and we have to focus on doing the the little things right and fix the little things, and because again it's gonna be a great atmosphere. Both seniors on each team want to come out victorious. I mean, you got a chance to go to the quarterfinals. Our senior class has a chance to make it 2 trips to the quarterfinals. This senior class this will be their 5th home playoff game in 2 years. My first 7 years at Riverdale, we had 5 total home playoff games. Think about that. That's pretty impressive that this senior class has met the home playoff games in 2 years than what we did in the first 7 years there. So I'm proud of this senior group, and and proud of what they accomplished, and excited, and ready to get back to work, and because there's nothing easy about next week, and as long as they come with a positive attitude and work hard, we're gonna give it our best shot.
Warrior pride, that's what it's about, right?
Yes, sir. And it's everybody, man. You got the whole community and bought in, and everybody's excited, and it's just a nice atmosphere. I mean, last night the game experience, you had music playing and kids and fans going nuts, and it's good to be a Riverdale Warrior right now.
High school football, nothing quite like it. I encourage you, if you're in town and you want to see some good football, you get over to the Backyard Brawl 2.0 because it's going to be exciting. I don't know, will there be a Kreisky brother wrestling match at midfield after the game?
No. This one will probably cause a little dissension at Thanksgiving. The regular season game we can get over it, move on, but the playoff game we probably won't be eating Thanksgiving dinner with each other.
Well, somebody will bring the turkey and somebody will bring the ham. I think y'all will make up. Okay, Will Kreisky, appreciate your time. Certainly wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Las Casas Feed Supply, locally owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, specializing in animal feeds, premium pet foods, farm supplies, and more.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service. We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service reminds you that it makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We've been serving Rutherford County since 1988.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
We're just off Memorial Boulevard at 142 Heritage Park Drive.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Rick Hall with Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna. Give Rick a call for auto, home, business, and life insurance needs. Find out more online at rayburn.net. I'm Danny Brewer. I'm back now. I'm happier than a hog in slop because I got the Dean of Rutherford County High School football coaches on the line, Coach Matt Williams of Smyrna. Coach, how are you this morning? I think Coach is there. Coach, are you? Hey, Coach, Danny Brewer here. Like I just told everybody, I'm happier than a hog and slop because I've got you on the phone. How you doing this morning, Coach?
I'm doing okay. Sun came up, and obviously didn't like the result from last night, but I'm doing all right.
Well, Coach, tough loss for Smyrna on the road. I want to talk about a couple of Bulldog moments first and foremost. After the opening kickoff, there was a very scary moment for everybody on both sidelines. One of the longtime Bulldog supporters went down. I think he got hit. I don't know. I was standing 15 feet from him, and I didn't see what happened. But Dennis Johnson, who has been a member of the Bulldog family for probably 5 or 6 decades at least, went down. But here's the Bulldog moment. Man, everybody rallied around him, and, it was so scary, but people immediately rushed. The staff immediately was there and may have saved his life. I don't know, but he's doing okay now, right, Coach? Give me a little update on Dennis or what you know about it.
Yeah, they went to the hospital last night. I talked to Janet last night and this morning. Very scary situation, but he's doing okay. I think he got hit his head, but we got to him. He was unresponsive, and just kudos to everybody involved. Our trainer Chris Fett, our offensive line coach Jason Pitts was quick to act, and Jason actually started CPR And luckily, after about 3 compressions, Dennis sort of came to, and I was unzipping the AED. It was, very scary. We cut off his. I think he's mad this morning because we cut his sweatshirt off. But scared us all. And Dennis is such a huge, huge part of our program, and and Miss Janet, his wife, they're obviously family to me, and so pretty scary moment. But thank goodness, I think it was just he got hit his head. I think he'll be okay. He's very sore, but other than that, I think it's courage.
Yeah, Coach, because I've known both those people, Miss Janet and Dennis, pretty much my whole life. So, yeah, we all were very frightened. But, like I said, how the Bulldogs just jumped on it and Pitts and everybody with that situation, fantastic. Now, here's the second Bulldog moment I want to talk about. So, opening kickoff, this stuff happens. Everybody's frightened, scared to death. The first play from scrimmage for Smyrna is a pick 6 going the other way. So you're down 7-0. You don't know what's happened to one of the great Bulldogs. So there's all this stuff swirling around you. But how the offense answered on the next possession with that drive, to me, one of the best drives of the year for Smyrna. Talk about that and how your team answered the call to make it, to knot it up at 7-7.
Yeah, I was really proud. Like you said, you can't draw up a worse start. And I thought our offensive line. I was very proud of our offensive line last night. I thought we were in the ball extremely well. All those guys, I think I haven't watched the film, but I would say had their best game. And you had our running backs, Aiden Augustine and R.J. Williams, did a great job. And just very proud of them, their maturity, how they came back. And we talk about having an next play mentality, not worrying about the scoreboard or things that have already happened, and our kids took that to heart and did a great job there. And I thought we really did a good job the first half. And for the most part, all game, I told them we had to do a good job on special teams and could not have turnovers. And unfortunate turnovers would bit us last night. But overall, I'm very proud of our kids. I thought we played really hard and competed even down right to the end, and had some unfortunate things happen that derailed us. But like I said, I'm proud of them.
And you got every right to be too. Coach, you mentioned the special teams kicking game, 2 for 2 on field goals. How about that?
Yeah, that's proud of LeBar Noor, our kicker. Our protection was really good. Snap, Grayson Pitts has done a good job with that all year. Britton Juckins, our quarterback, is our holder, did a good job. And, I was proud of us there at the end. I was sort of letting the clock run. I'm sure people were mad, but I was trying, we were on the negative side of the 50, and I did not want to give Brentwood the ball back. I had, I think, 2 timeouts at the time, and we got a big penalty, 15-yard penalty, and it sort of changed things. And we were able to get down there in a 2-minute drill and call timeout, I think, with about 4 seconds left, execute the field goal. So I was proud of those guys and thought we were right where we wanted to be at halftime.
No, absolutely, 14-13 at the half. Talk about Augustine. Kid ran the football really hard, played good on defense too. Senior, right? Aiden Augustine, senior?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought he played really good. Proud of Aiden, what he did. And, we got put in a tough situation. We had a kid, make a selfish decision this week and get suspended, and it put us in some tough situations as far as depth. But like you said, Aiden was a man last night. Had to play both sides of the ball, which would have had more relief if we'd had that other player. But proud of him, he answered, and proud of R.J. R.J. Williams came in and added a spark and had some really good runs as well. Yeah,
because R.J. Williams, sophomore, is that what he is?
Yeah, sophomore. Yeah, we had, it's one of those years that we had a lot of sophomores contribute. You know how that is. It's a bad thing, but it's also going to be a good thing because a lot of kids got a lot of time, and it'll pay off down the road.
Yeah, because Williams, with his slashing runs, I think he did a really good job of reading his blocks and then cutting in the hole, and like I said, had some explosive runs.
Yeah, he's quick as a cat. I've been watching RJ, since he was Rocky Fort middle, and I was excited about getting him, and he's done a really good job. We moved him from receiver, played some corner early in the year. We moved him to receiver, and just knew we needed somebody at the running back position with a little spark, and he came in against East Nashville's first action he had, and we saw immediately what he could do. So we look forward to him doing that for the next couple of years.
Because he's a kid that can provide those breakaway. He's a breakaway threat. Because, the kid, like I said, he's got some moves and he's got some speed.
Yeah, he does, and I'm not saying Aiden doesn't. Aiden's elusive, and really elusive runner as well. He just doesn't have quite the top end speed RJ does. But again, our offensive line, I thought last night, Grayson Pitts and C.J. Griffin and Brett Williams and, Jesse Villanueva, and I'm going to leave somebody out, but thought they did a wonderful job. Will McKnight did a wonderful job last night, and I was just proud of how those kids reacted.
Coach, I want to talk about a couple more Bulldogs, and they're on the staff, and they've been with you for a little bit. You got a great staff, but the two that I want to talk about are Jason Pitts, who we talked about, mentioned him as far as helping out with Dennis Johnson, but talk about the job that Pitts does as far as, because, man, he flat gets after it as a coach.
Yeah, he does. The coach is hard, and, again, I'm almost ashamed to say I actually coached Jason his senior year. Not I didn't necessarily coach him. I was an assistant on staff, but I've known Jason a long time, obviously, and he does a great job. And he's invaluable all the things he does, not just on the field but behind the scenes. He's big in our recruiting. He's a guy that handles recruiting for me and the kids' academics and grades, and so Jason's a smart Bulldog through and through, obviously. And it's been it obviously hurts to lose a game like that, but you got to. I always tell our kids, what are you thankful for? And I think Jason will look back and he'll really relish the time he got to coach his son Grayson. And I'm blessed too because I got to coach my son. Obviously, Keller was a smart Bulldog, and got to coach my nephew Breck. His last game was last night for us. And so a lot of things to be thankful for, and it's pretty neat. My brother and I both played center. My son Keller was a center for us, and Breck was a center for us. So sort of a family tradition there.
Yeah, that's neat stuff. Another one of your staff, Coach Villarreal. He is fantastic through and through. I mean, not only because he's your weightlifting coach, all this stuff. So talk a little bit about Coach V and what he does and what he's doing for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky. He played, Gabe played with my brother at Tennessee Tech, and I was actually sort of neat. Mr. Rakes, that was Mr. Rakes' last hire, and before he retired, like he told me, he said, "Hey, if you got anybody you want to hire, I need to get done now." And that was his last hire, and I think Mr. Rakes is proud of that, and he should be because Gabe does a fantastic job, and I think he's one of the best strength coaches in the state or in the nation for that matter. And does a really good job with our defense, and we're blessed to have a lot of good football coaches. My brother, it's not because he's my brother, but Mark does a fantastic job, and he had a lot of this year was when you going in was going to be a lot of new faces on offense, new quarterback, had a couple offensive linemen, but skill was going to be new, and I thought he did a good job of what he had. He's a former head coach. I'm blessed to have a lot of former head coaches on staff, and we got Doug Green, who was at Coffee County most recently, he's a head coach, and Lance White, who was a defense coordinator in Independence for a long time, had a lot of success, and we've got a really good staff. We're blessed to have that, and they do a great job.
Coach, I know the season's over now and didn't end the way you wanted it to, but you got to be proud of what you have accomplished. Talk a little bit about the future and what's coming for the Bulldogs, you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of experience coming back. We'll have to retool our offensive line, and we got have to find a new quarterback, but we've got a lot of young guys. We had 2 kids this year, sophomores and a junior that played a lot in the JV games, did a good job. Gianni Allen is a junior coming up for us. A.J. Jackson and Ezekiel Key are all quarterbacks that got JV time for us. And a lot on defense will return. Most of our secondary will come back. And we'll probably return 6 or 7 kids that played a ton on defense this year. So we're excited about that. And got, like I said, a lot of sophomores that contributed. So you got kids that we're going to have for the next 2 years. And so we're excited about that. And got a few freshmen we're excited about too. That group, didn't win a ton of games. I think they won 3 or 4 games, but a lot of size in that group. So we're excited about that, especially defensively. So there's a lot to look forward to and brighter days, to come. So a lot of things to be thankful for.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Congratulate you on another fine job at Smyrna High School. Matt Williams, appreciate it, and best of luck to you.
All right, thanks, Dan.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, family-owned and operated since 1977. Get the best service with Prentice Allsup Heating and Air online at PrenticeAllsup.com. wgnssportsradio.com.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. With over 2 decades of experience, our ASC certified master technicians are experts in both foreign and domestic vehicles, ensuring accurate diagnosis and timely, cost-effective repairs. From oil changes to major engine and transmission repairs, we've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly, mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
Hurry up and try new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs. They're 4 fun-sized puffs packed with layers of pepperoni, cheese, and sauce, and only $3.99. So what are you waiting for? Try them now.
You heard him. We need to go try these new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs right now.
Stuff for it! Drive like the wind, Debbie. Enjoy delicious new Crazy Puffs on the go for just $3.99. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
You've seen the ads out there, companies wanting to buy your home. But why sell yourself short when you can get fair market value? I'm Lisa Patton. If you have an estate to settle or a home to sell, call Parks Auction. We'll work with you to sell your home or property in any condition with no costly repairs on your timeline. Why accept one offer when you can have multiple? You need Parks Auction. We look out for your best interest. Call Parks Auction today. We handle everything.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan France Concrete. Here's why. He's local. He attended Walter Hill Elementary, Oakland, and MTSU. He served our community as a school resource officer for 9 years, and he's involved in the community.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Dan France Concrete is a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Check out danfranceconcrete.com online to see some of their work.
Murfreesboro is conducting a special census, and we need your help. An accurate population count means more shared state revenue for things like road repairs, park improvements, and new sidewalks. Here's Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
Another big benefit is the more dollars we receive could also help keep our taxes low. We need everyone to participate, so take part in our 2025 special census.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Craig's Tax Service, specializing in personal and business tax preparation, financials, and bookkeeping services. Find out more at craigstaxservice.com. I'm Danny Brewer, and I'm feeling finer than a batch of fresh fried catfish, because right now we have got the Blackman head football coach, Matt Kreisky, here with us. Coach Kreisky, how are you this morning?
Doing pretty good, doing a lot better than I was last week at this time. So it's good. You know, it's what's one thing about high school football. You know, 7 days later, you feeling totally different than what you did from the week before. But like we tell our kids all week, we were 0-0 going into the week. You know, they prepared well, and they did what we asked them to do.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about last night's football game. You're the number 4 seed going in the playoffs. Not maybe where you thought you would be, or where others thought you would be, you know, but still, you're number 4 seed. You're going to undefeated Green Hill. So you're going on the road, and you guys didn't just go in there and win. You went in there and took them behind the woodshed, because I think it was a running clock in the second half. With absolutely a "we are Blackman" moment for you guys.
You know, it was tight. First half is a really close game, but in the second half, I have not seen our kids play that way since I've been there. I had numerous people tell me that was the most complete game that they've seen since I've been at Blackman. Both sides of the ball, special teams. And I text our defense coordinator, Coach Crosby, late last night, and I said, I don't think I've seen the kids having that much fun during the game and on the sideline since we've been there. And you just saw something different, and hopefully this has clicked at the right time, and they realized what we've been preaching all year long about how good we can be and what we can accomplish. Hopefully that switch just finally switched over last night, because in the second half, those kids were not going to be stopped. They were going to, like I told them, that they were going to do anything and everything they could possibly do to come out with a W last night, and that's what they did. They turned it on in the second half. We did on both sides of the ball. Jonathan Hamby was 5 of 11, and 5 of those passes were touchdowns. Grant Gardner had 20, I believe it was 20 carries, around 20 carries, 111 yards. He ran like an angry man, and things like that's going to happen if we're going to win games in the playoffs. And so it was very exciting, and it was fun to be a part of.
Well, Coach, leading up to this football game, I just kind of have to wonder, what was the Blackman diet like all week? Because you boys were hungry. I mean, that was they sat down to the table and they doggone ate.
Yeah, they knew that if they didn't come out and perform last night, that would be it. And we got a group of seniors that are really unselfish, that all they care about doing is they want to, usually don't have groups that they want to be at practice. They want to practice. They want to lift weights. They want to do the film study. And, it all came together last night. And, like you said, man, that second half, man, they came out and then played. Hats off to Coach Crosby and the defensive staff that did a great job preparing, getting those guys coached up and ready to go last night. I think one of those touchdowns we gave up was off of a turnover, but other than that, I say our defense gave up 7 points. So that was real impressive coming into a Green Hill team. They got a Mr. Football candidate back there at quarterback, and I thought we did a heck of a job containing him. I believe we had 7 sacks last night. So that says a lot about our defense and what they were doing. Got to give a shout out to Coach Holman, our special teams unit. We had another block punt, or I believe 2 of them. One for a touchdown. So we did say that during the week, if we get a not a block punt, if we score on special teams, we're going to win. And we did that. And so once we did that, you could see in the kids' eyes, like, we got this. So that was pretty exciting. And another thing, man, if you watch the last couple of weeks, I know we can bring up Coffee County, but our offensive line have made huge strides in the past 3 weeks. Man, those Molina brothers have turned it on. Hudson Lee, Kennedy Jackson, those guys are really coming together. Nehemiah coming together, playing hard. They're starting to figure it out. And then we got Grant and Jabari in the backfield getting things done, and then when we need to throw it a little bit, you got Jaden Guy out there, John Dragoo, Rylan O'Dore. So we got some pieces, and I think we put a couple pieces together last night. We got to keep doing it and get ready for next week.
So, Coach, when I look at that score, 45-14, the 45 is ultra impressive, but to me, what's more impressive is the 14, because Green Hill was an offensive juggernaut coming into this game. 10-0, been whooping everybody. How about the defensive effort? I mean, you got to be just beaming about that.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think their seven of their points was because of off of a turnover, and then the other one was at the end of the half. They were going empty, going no huddle, kind of going pretty quick. Man, we had a busted coverage, and it is what it is. We had a busted coverage. Young man usually never makes a mistake like that. He did. Oh, well, we told him, move on. It is what it is. It was 17-14.5. I said, move on. Everything's going to be fine. And, it was in the second half. Those guys came out and played lights out.
So if I heard you correctly, Hamby, 5 completions.
5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns. How about that? When are you ever going to see something like that where every completion goes for 6? How about that?
No. Man, you got to say a lot about that kid. He comes in, starts the first 3 games. We make a switch. Comes in last night and leads the team to a playoff victory. Not only a playoff victory against a team that's 10-0, number 1 in their region, ranked in the top 10 in the state. His first touchdown pass, we were inside, I believe, the 5 or 6 yard line. He scrambles. I thought he was going to run it. Then all of a sudden he pulls up and finds Brylan O'Dore wide open in the back of the end zone for a 5-6 yard touchdown pass. Man, it says a lot about the kid. You know, a lot of kids these days, when a switch like that's made, they usually pack it up and go. And either transfer, find another school to go to, or not play at all. That's not Jonathan Hamby. That's not who he is and what he's about. He stuck with it, stuck with us the entire time, kept working each and every week, waiting for his number to get called again. And he got called again, and he executed and did what we needed him to do last night. Like I said, 5 completions, 5 touchdown passes. He got the job done. We're really proud of him.
So what I'm listening to you talk here, there's been 2 things that really strike me. Super proud moment for you as a coach, I'm sure. The Hamby situation, and then the fact that you told your kids if we score on special teams, we're going to win. So, I mean, it's got to be, when you're right about something, man, it's got to make you feel so good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's look at our schedule, look at our season. You know, we haven't been able to win the game, you know, the games that we need to win to get us over the hump. And last night was the game that we have finally won that hopefully has got us over the hump and give us the confidence that we need. That's what we've been lacking, I say, is the confidence, because we've been playing in so many tight games, so close games, that we keep saying, well, if we'd have done this, a bunch of ifs. You know, and I told them, you know, we can't have a bunch of ifs after tonight, and they proved it, and it was impressive. And you know, Archie Roseman, an entire defensive line played outstanding. Ethan Carson's banged up, and you would have thought that Ethan Carson was banged up last night the way he played. Man, he's just, you know, great kid to be around. You know, fun to coach, and it was really exciting.
Well, Coach, I know you're not a look-at-me guy, but I'm going to say this for you. You know, Blackman football, I've seen a lot of Blackman football over the years, and the tradition there is not as storied as some schools because it's not as old, but it does have a very decorated past. Last night's victory goes in the record books as one of the greatest wins in Blackman playoff history, I will say without a doubt. That I applaud you for that, and I'm sure you have to be proud to know that you were a part of that.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You coming off, you know, what happened the week before. You know, as me as a coach and who I am, it was tough, tough for me to get over. But I finally had to be a man and look myself in the mirror and say it's time to move on. Because if I didn't move on, the kids wouldn't have moved on. And so we moved on. We had a great practice, and you could tell. We tried to scale it back last week in practice, but you could tell these kids were angry and they were hungry, and maybe that's what we needed. We maybe needed to lose against a team in that way to maybe to get us going. And so, man, I'm super proud of these kids, the way they responded, and what they did last night. You know, and I got to give a shout out to Mr. Lawless, man. We got administration staff that's real supportive. He came to me either Thursday or Friday, I can't remember, already talking about a second round game. Are we gonna do this? We're gonna do that. And I just kind of looked at him, and you know, you got an administrator that has no doubt in his mind that we're going to go out and win. That's the type of support we got at Blackman High School, and man, I'm so lucky and fortunate to be a part of it.
So we got to talk about the second round game real quickly. We got to mention horse racing. There's a horse run at Del Mar today in the Cary Grant Stakes. Big City Lights. Is Richard Mandela trained? He's the morning line favorite. Is it important for your kids not to get caught up in those Big City Lights of that victory last week, because you got to go to Riverdale this week?
No, they're going to move on. They know what's at stake next. Seniors, I already told the seniors this will be the last time. This will be your last time you will ever play Riverdale High School ever. So how do you want to be remembered? So this. It's going to be a great game, great atmosphere. Both communities are going to come out and support their team. It's going to be a hard-nosed, hard-fought football game, and it's going to be played with class.
Well, there's going to be some Big City Lights shining over, I guarantee that. Backyard brawl at Riverdale Blackman. Congratulations again, Coach Matt Kreisky, on a huge win in the first round of the playoffs.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com.
Here's a question. What do you want from your electric co-op?
An app for easy payments.
solar energy solutions.
I just want to talk to a real person when I need help.
Energy tips and low rates.
Done, 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 done.
I want to fly my car to the moon.
Houston, let's talk about electric vehicles. Energy Service Life. That's Middle Tennessee Electric. We're here to get done what matters most to you. Learn more at mte.com.
Whether you're a student, alumni, or just a fan, Raider Tees has exactly what you need to help you cheer on the Blue Raiders on game days and every moment in between. We sell officially licensed Blue Raider gear, whether it's clothing, hats, flags, chairs, or just whatever. We have it all, including exclusive gear you won't find anywhere else. Like us on Facebook for updates on new Blue Raider gear and special prices or discounts. For all your Blue Raider gear, shop Raider Tees today. Bigger, better, and go blue!
Pizza. You in a hurry for dinner? Well, we've made it even easier to order online at sirpizzatn.com. Tap the location nearest you and begin your carryout or delivery order at sirpizzatn.com. You can choose from our full menu and we'll take care of the rest. A Queen's Feast is calling my name. Order Murfreesboro's favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
Craig's Tax Service is located just off Memorial on Heritage Park Drive. You can contact us at 890-2233.
It makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We are proud to support all Rutherford County student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
Stickers, labels. We do a lot of direct mail, booklets, manuals, programs. My name is Jeff Carlton. I handle sales and marketing for Franklin's Print Works here at Murfreesboro. We are at 2227 South Park Drive. Franklin's Print Works has been in Murfreesboro for over 25 years. We are a full-service commercial printer. We offer everything from business cards to brochures, booklets to banners, everything in between. Our website is franklinsprinting.org.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show brought to you by J. Mullins Jewelry, family owned and operated since 1938. Jewelry design, repair, wide selection of great jewelry pieces, jmullinsjewelry.com. It'll be Christmas time before we know it, and we've got head coach of the Oakland Patriots, Kevin Creasy, joining us this morning. And, Coach, congrats on the first-round win over the Blue Devils.
Appreciate it. It was a big win for the Patriots.
Sure was. You know, if you're an Oakland fan, when you say the name Lebanon, it brings up a lot of good memories of some great contests. They were a region foe for years.
Yes, I know. I've looked into the history of that, and Lebanon's always played us tough, and I think the overall series is like 16-13 in favor of Oakland, but, you know, there were some really good Oakland teams that fell to the hands of some good Lebanon teams.
You know, it was kind of reminiscent of that kind of thing last night with Riverdale playing Cookeville. They were, of course, I mean, that it was, you know, Oakland, Riverdale, Cookeville, Warren County, Sparta, if you can believe it, and Lebanon, and back in the day, and that just brings back some old memories from 30-plus years ago, I guess.
I guarantee there were some good football games back then.
Sure were. So last night you kind of jumped out on top pretty quick, and, you know, that's what you like to do in the opening round of the playoffs.
Well, you know, give Lebanon credit. They took a kickoff past our 50-yard line and did a heck of a job of driving the ball down to our goal line, and our defense, you know, really bowed their backs and, you know, had a critical 3rd and goal stop on the 1. probably 4th in inches, we were able to stop them from scoring, and give them credit. I would have went for it as well. I mean, it was literally inches, and our defense did a heck of a job. Cam Sanders playing nose guard, strongest guy on our team, reset the line of scrimmage, and we got some penetration, and we got the ball on the 1-inch line, literally the 1-inch line. But the whole ball game could have went different if they carry that in and score right there. And credit to our defense. Coach Watson did a good job of preparing our guys this week, and they knew the situation and how to handle it. And credit to our offensive line for getting us out of our own end zone, and ended up doing some wildcat and getting the ball out of our own 1-inch line, and went 99 yards the opening drive. Put together a double-digit play drive and went 99 yards and set the tone for the rest of the game.
Well, speaking of your defense had the next score, even with a fumble recovery. And what was it, Wade, who had the fumble recovery for TD?
Nehemiah Wade, he scooped it right up and went on in the end zone. I thought it was a heck of a play. And so, it was just crushing to Lebanon, for those guys to be stopped on 4 plays inside the 10 and then turn right back around and we go 99 and score. We have a good kickoff cover, and then the very next play, Nehemiah Wade, he takes the ball in the end zone, and it's 14-0 before you know it.
Defense, especially when you get into the playoffs, your defense helps to give your offense opportunities all season, of course, if they can get the offense back out on the field. But if you don't have a good defense, you get exposed in the playoffs pretty quick, don't you?
Yeah, I think you look at the 4 games that were from our region. Of course, first off, you notice that Rutherford County went 3-0, but also you notice that the 4 best defenses won. I think Mount Juliet, has a really good defense, and so they won their game. And then Blackman has a great defense. Riverdale has a great defense. And, ours gets overlooked a lot of times, but our defense plays really well too. So, that's kind of what wins you ball games, especially when the weather gets a little cooler and, conditions get a little worse. And you look at how our Riverdale game turned out a week ago. We never drove the ball on Riverdale. We got good opportunities because of our defense, good field position because of our defense. And so they set up a lot of scores. And the Riverdale-Oakland game could have easily been a 7-6 ball game or,
sure,
a 22-21 ball game. But it was because the defenses both set up each other in great field position.
We have Kevin Creasy joining us as we talk Oakland football this morning. The final score last night was 41-0, the victory over the Blue Devils. And what was it, 27-0 at halftime, I think?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we kind of talked about the team defensively. Let's look at some of your offensive stars last night. This kid continues to amaze me, not only what he does on offense but defense, so this is kind of a good way to kind of segue to both, and that's Chase Bandy. I mean, he's out there just about every snap, isn't he?
Yes. Chase is one of those warriors that just plays both sides of the ball, and he's so important to us on both sides of the ball. Had some big-time catches. I think he had like 90 yards receiving. He had 2 carries for 25 yards, so he had over 100 yards of offense. Had some good coverage at cornerback, can play safety as well. Had several tackles. But, yeah, Chase Bandy is a senior, having a great year as a senior.
DeJuan Morris got his touches last night, had a couple of touchdowns. Actually was on the receiving end of a few passes from your son Creasy too.
Yeah. DeJuan, able to block well, run well, catch well out of the backfield. Split him out at receiver. He does a heck of a job. Caught a big red zone 3rd down completion. Kyler had a good night. I think he was 13 for 16. 140 yards, something like that. But, only to have 3 incompletions, that's pretty good. Offensive line did a heck of a job of pass protecting and running, running the ball well. Craig Tutt, I think, had 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards for Craig Tutt, and I think he only had 9 carries. And he's another guy that plays both sides of the ball.
That's 11 yards per carry, by the way. You'd take that every game, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we'll take 11 yards a carry. Makes play calling a whole lot easier. And then DeJuan actually got in a couple snaps of defense last night. So he's going to be one of those guys that we're relying heavily on. He's on our punt block team now. And so, we've got a philosophy. We want everybody to go one way. But when it's playoff time, we don't want our best players over there clapping and cheering on. We want them on the field, and so that's kind of the philosophy we've gone to since week 10.
Certainly, obviously makes sense, and because you start to have to, especially after the first week, you have to go back through teams that you've played already. Riverdale and Blackman going to play, for instance, next week, and Coffee County was just 1 score away from having to rematch in that game with you guys. So. And when you start playing people a second time, that's when it gets tough.
Oh, yeah. And the thing about it, the good thing is, Blackman and Riverdale both got our attention the first time we played them, because they both really should have beat us, I believe. I think the football gods just had the ball bounce the wrong way a couple times, and those things happen. You can't really blame it on anything or give credit to anything. At the end of the day, the ball just bounced our way a couple times, and we were fortunate enough to escape with a win at Blackman, and fortunate enough in the rain to win over at Riverdale. So there's no telling who's going to come out in the third round between those two. I got a lot of respect for both those coaches, and they do a good job, but there's no telling. I have no prediction on who's going to come out, and I know this. I don't have much of an idea who's going to come out between us and Mount Juliet. I know it's going to be a tough opponent as well.
Well, I'm sure you're hoping that obviously it's a rematch with one of those two in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. We're got Kevin Creasy with us this morning. I didn't want our time to get away before, and we want to talk about Mount Juliet, of course, but Craig Tutt was named a Mr. Football semifinalist this week, and I'm glad that his body of work did not get overlooked, because you've got so much talent there in the backfield, but he does so many things for your team, and that's a nice recognition for that young man.
Yeah, it's a real honor to be nominated for Mr. Football. It's a regular season award, kind of like the Heisman. So the playoffs don't factor in. That's unfortunate. It's cost us a couple guys winning it, I believe. But I understand. Everybody's only guaranteed 10 games, so Craig's had a great 10-game run, and offense and defense, special teams, he does a heck of a job for us. He's just a football player, and he's only a junior, so that's big time for us. And him coming back next year definitely makes things look better for the future. And 9 times out of the last 10 years, 9 out of 10 years, we've had somebody up for Mr. Football. So that shows you that this thing's not as complicated as it might seem. A lot of times it's players, and we've had some good players over the last 10 years. And, I don't know anybody else around can brag about 9 out of the last 10 years having somebody up for Mr. Football.
Yeah, most certainly. One of these times, back when you're retired and I'm retired, maybe we could take all of your Oakland teams and put together an all-star team. Yeah. I bet that would be a lineup, wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be nice. That would be really good. I could use a few of them right now.
I can imagine. Well, you've got Mount Juliet coming in. Speaking of, wars, I can't remember the year. It hadn't been that long ago. You had to go to Mount Juliet just to keep the playoff season going. You've had some real battles with the Bears.
Oh, yeah. 2018, I'm pretty sure that's the year
you're
bringing
right.
up. 2018, we won the state championship, but our hardest game was against Mount Juliet at Mount Juliet. Luckily, we blocked a punt, in their territory. Special teams helped us win that game, and we had a Mr. Football kicker, that helped us win that game as well. He flipped the field and one time had a 70-yard punt that like I said, changed the whole game. Yep. Defensive battle with Mount Juliet, and they got all the same coaches, so we're all familiar with each other. And Trey Perry does a heck of a job over there leading his program. So we expect it to be another tough game.
Well, it's by winning the region last week, you get to stay at home as long as you can keep this thing rolling, which is a nice thing, too.
Yeah.
You did it the hard way last year.
Yeah. Going on the road, 3 or 4 times last year was tough, but, this year, if we could just keep winning, you got home field advantage, but, like I said, 1 week at a time, it's not just a cliche. You really got to believe that.
Coach Creasy, congrats on the win. Good luck on Friday.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Kevin Creasy joining us on the Coaches Show. That is brought to you by State Farm agents Andy Womack, Dana Womack, Celeste Middleton, Ron Reeves, Emerson Williams. They're all here because they want to help you out. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
We're talking with Anne-Marie Brents at Rick's Barbecue, carrying on the Lanning family tradition.
I'm passionate about it, and I have a lot of my dad in me, so I know that I have the same energy and mindset that he does.
It's the best barbecue you'll eat, the smoked chicken out of this world, and those loaded baked potatoes.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds. People ask us that all the time. Like, where do y'all get those potatoes from?
A quick meal feeding the whole family or catering, they can do it all at Rick's Barbecue, 212 Warrior Drive.
With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm agent Ron Reeves. Give me a call at 615-873-1700 and let me show you. With discounts up to 40%, you may find it even costs less.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose. You do anything to protect your kids. I'm State Farm agent Emerson Williams, and it's important to protect them with life insurance. I can make it easy and affordable for you to protect your family.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee.
At First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, we show up and have been for 150 years. Let us show you how we do it. I'm John Dietrich, Senior Vice President, Commercial Lender at the Murfreesboro Gateway office. Let me have the honor of helping you and your family achieve its financial dreams. I am a lifelong resident of this community dedicated to making it better.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. We show up for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 401715.
Dr. Russell McKissick of Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance talks about the grassroots effort in our local schools to ensure proper care for players.
To make sure our teams are covered here locally, be there for our trainers. Yeah, it's a passion that we have to try to take care of our athletes here in town and be there just to keep everybody playing as healthy and as best they can.
From a community standpoint, one of the most important things you do at TOA, I'd guess.
I think it's definitely a way to pay back to our community, just to be there for them and watch some great sports too.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, live your best life.
How about a fix for your sweet tooth? Donut Country is open 24 hours a day to cure your cravings. They've been serving up the freshest donuts in Murfreesboro since 1978. There's just something different about donuts from Donut Country. Bo and Cindy Davis and their wonderful staff will greet you with a smile, and you'll see all donuts aren't created equal. Fresh donuts anytime you want them, 24/7 at Donut Country on Memorial down from Clark. And they're open each morning on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Check out their Facebook page for specials and promotions. Nothing else compares to Donut Country. Open 24 hours.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
We are back on the Coaches Show, brought to you by the law offices of John Day. They've helped thousands of people get legal help when they've needed it the most. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day. We are talking Stewart's Creek football this morning. The head coach, Ben Caudill, joining us. And the final score last night, Stewart's Creek 20, Independence 14. And congrats on the win, Coach.
Thank you very much. Big night for us.
Yeah, it certainly was. We talked a lot about it in Stewart's Creek's history, which 2013, had been in the playoffs 6 times. Counting this season, and 0-5. This year has been a huge year to get that monkey off your back. You did it in the Smyrna series, did it last night with the victory, and this is how you build programs, isn't it?
Oh, there's no question. And we knew all week, that it was going to be a huge challenge, and it was the 0-0 Red Hawks versus the 0-0 Eagles. And, I think everything we did up until, the playoffs started, only made it harder for us, putting the target on your back. And, we knew, that there's been that wall, like you said, before us, and just a lot of close calls, up at Coffee County 2 years ago, playing a generational Coffee County team. And, game went to overtime, and last year against Ravenwood up at half, tied going into the fourth quarter, and we knew this was something that nobody was going to hand it to us. We had to go take it, and just really proud of the effort of our coaches and our players for pulling it out over 4 quarters.
Also, something that shows where the trajectory of a program. You've been in the playoffs, I think, 5 of the last 6 years, something like that. So, getting there. I mean, and there, Coach, we've talked about it. There were people that said, well, Stewart's Creek's in the Murfreesboro region, they don't have a chance. Well, you did, obviously. And so, but those are part of those building blocks too.
They are. I was at Brentwood High School, and the 2 years I was there, Stewart's Creek didn't make the playoffs, and got a call from Burt Brown one day, never met him, didn't have his number saved, and breaking through and making the 6A playoffs for the first time in 2019 was huge. This is a big step for our program, and the first time you do anything, it's really hard, and you gotta break through that wall, and sometimes you gotta hit it 100 times, and it breaks the 100th time, but it's not because you hit it that time, it's because you've hit it 99 times before to loosen it up. And that's why I referenced last night before the game. There's a lot of guys and a lot of people that have been in our program long before I was a part, and certainly long before these guys that played last night that really worked hard and gave us a chance. And so I'm really proud of how we handled adversity last night. It was by far not our best performance across the board, but I thought that we were able to put it together in the second half and make the adjustments that we needed to. And I tell you, shutting down Independence in the second half, posting a shutout, I thought our defense really kind of, set that tone, there in the second half. I thought Daniel Johnson had the best game that he's had all season, a big sack that, was a big momentum changer there in the third quarter. I tell you, holding a triple option offense to 192 yards, I think total. I went to school at Harding, was a graduate assistant there, triple option. I'm very well aware of, tagging all the practice film and game film with that type scheme, and it is tough, and you got to be really, really sound and disciplined. I think our defense put together a really great performance last night.
Broadcaster does too, and you sometimes you don't know that going into the game, and it's like, well, where's the football? And then all of a sudden the guy's on, far side of the field with the football, and you're following the play up the middle. So I can only imagine what it's like down there. And maybe one of the finest looking sophomores I've seen in a while is behind center for them. I mean, that kid really knows how to run that option.
Oh, no doubt. Big 6'5", quarterback, and we saw him in our spring scrimmage against him, and I thought he made all the right reads last night, did a great job, and I tell you, looking at Independence, the last several weeks, they've really started to play their best football, and, they shut Brentwood out in the second half and really just whipped Summit last week, and so we knew we were getting a team that was really hot, once again, just proud of what we were able to do at halftime. I was proud of the look in our guys' eyes, and I was really proud of how we came out offensively in the second half too. We drove it down to about the 6-yard line and jumped off sides, which just crushed us. And so I felt like we kind of hurt ourselves there and cost us from tying the ball game at that moment. But we marched right back down the next 2 drives and took the lead, and I thought the way we came out in the second half in all 3 phases really was the difference in the game.
There's no doubt. And there was 1 flag in the first half, and then there were 50 times more in the second half, it seemed. But that's just the way football goes. But I wanted to talk to you about the second half because they go up 7-0. You tie the game. They come back, take the lead, and they have that 14-7 lead at halftime. And when you come out in the second half, I think on one drive there were at least 3 different quarterbacks. So you gave them much different looks on offense, and I think that took them a minute. I'm not sure they ever figured it out.
Well, I tell you, it's you got to have stuff for the second half of ball games maybe that you didn't show in the first half. I think who you just talked to, Coach Creasy's, nobody's better at that than him, of kind of holding on to something for the second half, and because it's harder to adjust when you're talking to kids through a headset or on the sideline real quick. But I tell you, I think that we came out with a great mentality in the second half, and a lot of credit to Independence, though. I thought they executed their game plan really, really well for about 2.5 quarters. And, I looked up and it was the second quarter. It was the fastest.
It was.
They were holding the ball. And
that first half it flew by. It was like 30 minutes or 45 minutes maybe tops.
Yeah, we had a big bust on a 3rd and 11 that, kind of extended their drive, which was really disappointing, and I should have called timeout. But I'm really proud of the look in our guys' eyes once again at halftime. And I think handling adversity – is big, and especially in a playoff environment. We're one of 16 teams left in 6A football, and there are so many people that wouldn't believe that in 2019, and how far we've come. It's not just about this season. It's about so much work and so much fundraising and just trying to continue to do the right thing each and every year and continuing to grow your program and move it forward. And last night was just such a huge step.
I wanted to briefly talk about that too, because you talk about how you get to the point where you are, and there were building blocks that were laid in that foundation before you even got there. And it's always good to see David Martin, one of the world's best guys that you'll ever want to meet, and he was there at the very beginning. There were several players.
He was there last night,
too.
Yeah,
he was there last night. Yeah, we had the chance to talk to him quite a bit in the press box, and we developed a good relationship with him. And some of the former players that played for him that were there, they wanted to be there to see what Stewart's Creek, the team that they wore the jersey for 4 years, was about. And I think they walked away very proud last night.
Oh, no doubt. A few of them were there last night. I got to meet a few guys that were there before I'd gotten to Stewart's Creek, and just getting the practice field ready, that took so much work. And I tell you, it's scary to think about where we are right now. We've got 120 plus players. We got 53 lockers. Really excited about some things we can do this off season that might take us to another place perhaps. But I tell you, this program's never made any excuses. We've never leaned on any crutch, and I think that mentality's really helped us. Once again, I'm just so proud of our players. I'm proud of our seniors. The opportunity to be around each other for one more week and get to practice on Monday is something we're all excited about.
Well, Coach, you are the only region team left, and it's you versus Williamson County right now, isn't it? You've got the Brentwood Bruins, a place where you know very well since coming from there. Brentwood has a storied tradition, but the good thing about it is they have to come to your place.
No doubt. And I first off, I just think Coach Finch has done a great job since, Ron took off to Memphis to work with his son-in-law, and Clint's just taken it and run with it, done a tremendous job. Back when I was at Brentwood, there were 2 people that went up to the box each game, and for a year and a half it was just me and Clint, so we got to know each other really well. I taught his oldest son in class for a year, and just one of the best kids you will ever meet, just incredibly smart. His wife's a principal in Williamson County as well. I have so much respect for Clint. He's always a guy that I reach out to and ask for advice or wisdom on opponents and things like that, and just really proud to have worked with him, and Brentwood was a place that really kind of lifted my career up. It working with Ron and guys like Clint, it really was kind of like a master's level in coaching for me, and it was just what I needed at the right time, and I'm very appreciative of my time there, and I tell you, it's going to be a lot of fun. And this is
coaches have those building blocks too, right?
They do. There's no question. And Brentwood is just such a well-coached team. They're really, really dynamic in all 3 phases. Obviously, going to be a tremendous challenge, but one that I know we're excited about, and means a lot to me that we get to host. And another opportunity to be in front of our community is really special, and this is going to be a great challenge for us. It's going to be the biggest challenge I think we've seen, not just this year, but in the past several years perhaps. And so really proud of our guys and for getting us in this position, and I know it's one that we're going to have to work really hard and get the right plan in place next week.
Well, Coach, congrats on making it to the state's Final 16. It's history making, and there's more history to be made. The history book isn't written just yet, is it?
Let's hope not. And I tell you, we need to enjoy this for now, but it's back to work Monday, and it's going to take all hands on deck next week against a really good Brentwood team.
Well, want to thank all the administration, Dr. Harrell, Todd Harris, everybody who made our trip to Stewart's Creek last night fun. It was a great football game, and the right team won that one. So, Coach, congrats again.
Yes, sir. Hopefully y'all had a few of those wings as well.
Oh, yeah. You eat pretty good in the press box at Stewart's Creek, that's for sure.
Always.
The head coach of the Stewart's Creek Redhawks, Ben Caudill, joining us this morning. And as you would say, go Redhawks, right? Go Red. All right. Coach's show brought to you by Ideas Tees, who will be happy to help you fulfill your imprinted apparel, embroidery, advertising, specialty needs. IdeasTees.com.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
I'm Ian Young. I'm at Las Casas Feed Supply. I'm selling beef and pork, 100% Angus, raised here in Las Casas. Come get you some.
Everyone's favorite cuts available, even options to purchase a quarter of a steer.
We got the beef. Hello, everybody. Las Casas Feed Supply.
Family owned and operated, Las Casas Feed Supply on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East.
Hi, I'm Lee Colvin, your Edward Jones financial advisor. And while you've heard the saying, slow and steady wins the race, that same concept can be applied to long-term investing. Investing a little bit at a time on a regular basis can really add up. We call this systematic investing, and though it doesn't guarantee a profit or prevent a loss, it's a way to take advantage of market volatility instead of enduring it. Give me a call, Lee Colvin, at 615-907-7056. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And we welcome you back to the Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner. John Dinkins with you, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. You can find out more at TOA.com. And joining me here, representing the Eagleville Eagles, Floyd Walker, the head coach. And I haven't gotten to talk to you in a while, but I'm telling you, good things are happening for Eagleville football right now.
It really is. It's a lot of good things just happening for Eagleville schools. So I mean, it was a huge night for our kids. I thought our stadium was really an exciting place to play last night. I thought the fans were into it. I thought the band, the student body, I thought it was just a great environment for high school football last night.
And the weather was pretty much perfect. I mean, I don't know if it could get any better temperature-wise. I mean,
temperature-wise, it was great. I don't know, man. It was like a dew fell.
I know, that was crazy. That happened everywhere, yeah.
So it made the surface just a little bit slick. There was some slipping and sliding going on. But overall, yes, it was a good football night weather-wise.
Well, I don't know, but I don't know about predictions and things like that. But now we're getting into high cotton. So last night was a big game. It's the first playoff game, and you all had I think a lot of people don't understand. You really had to fight to get in the playoffs, even with a great record that you had.
We did.
One game. So you've been in playoff scenario about the last 4 weeks.
We've been in the playoff scenario or playoff mode ever since the Wayne County game. We dropped that when it kind of put us behind the 8 ball as far as whether we're going to be in, whether we're going to be out. And then Hutland got hot, and they kind of ran the table in the district, and they didn't stump their toe, upset Moore County. I don't even know if you call it an upset now, but yeah, we had to claw and scratch and get ourselves in, and I thought our kids did a super job of not panicking and just keeping their mind on their business.
Floyd, you talk about peaking at the right time, and maybe I'm a little overzealous with that, but you've got to have your mindset ready to go, and it seems like the Eagles are in good shape there. I mean, what's been the change? Because it's not like you're beating them. Last night was a tough game, right. But you've gone through some opponents and really put some points up on the board.
We've gotten better as the year goes along, but you kind of got to give the credit to the senior group. Like I said before, we've got 14 seniors, 15 if you include our manager, Abby Rakes. And the thing these kids are doing is just they're executing. They're executing at a high level. They're doing their job. It's not like we went and changed anything defensively. We have not changed anything offensively. It's just the way that we're going about doing it now. It's starting to come along. It's starting to help us put more points on the board, and we were still kind of young at some spots offensively, especially at quarterback. We've grown some at quarterback. We've gotten a little bit better with both of the kids between Damon Pruitt and Ben Fox. They've gotten a little bit more comfortable playing the position, so that's kind of helped our offense out a little bit more too.
That's going to help to be able to win with young guys at a key position like that. That's bound to help looking even toward next year or so. All the experience that they've gotten, that's going to be probably a strength for you rather than, we don't know.
Right. And you'll go into the offseason, you'll have an idea about who your guy's going to be now. Damon's a senior, Ben's a freshman, so you kind of feel like it'll be his job. He's still got some growing to do, and he's still getting better every day, and I'm proud of, the way that he's played up to this point, and we're looking for great things out of him as the year's starting to come.
We're going to talk about this game, then I want to get back to a couple of things about this run that you're on right now. Same familiar names keep popping up, Snitzer had 18 carries for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. He has kind of been the stabling in the force behind that offensive line and getting you some big yardage when you need it, and at crucial times too.
Well, he really has, because we put a lot on his shoulders this year. Right off the top of my head, last time I checked, I think he'd had over 140-something carries. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to run the football, take the pressure off the quarterbacks, and put it on Caleb in the offensive line. And I think all of those young men have done a fantastic job this year. But I can't say enough about the way that Caleb has carried himself. Whether he's running the ball, whether he's playing the outside line back and forth, he gets very, very little time off during the game. And at the end of the night, he's spent, he's beat up, but he comes back to work on Monday, and he embraces the challenges that lie ahead for him on that Friday night.
Did you expect a pretty tight defensive game last night? Were you expecting something like that?
I mean, watching Houston County, and I think this is the third time, maybe fourth time that we've played them. And Coach Meadows has always done a tremendous job of getting his kids to be physical, to play hard, to run the football extremely well offensively. And we kind of felt that it was going to be a little claw and scratch type of ball game, and we knew that we had to run the ball and we had to stop the run, and eventually that's the way it unfolded.
You kind of like those kind of games, don't you? Where you know what they're coming with.
Oh yeah, it's not like they were trying to hide it.
Yeah. And
we never tried to hide
anything. You do the same thing basically.
That's what we talked to the kids about. You had to treat that like it was a 12-round boxing match.
Yeah,
we got hit early. But if when you're in a championship match, you got to remember it's 12 rounds.
And y'all have always the three, and you've met them before. Those games have all been exciting, kind of like that. But you know what's going to happen.
I think the last time we played them in the playoff at their place, I think somebody told me 1-8-7, 8-6.
I think that's right.
Something like that. And then we went back down and played. We had a two-game series. We won. They came to us, and we went back down there, and we were able to win those. But in the playoff games, it's always been a tough matchup with them.
Marshall Spann, going to talk about him. Let's see. I'm trying to think of how many tackles.
And eight. Yeah, when we went back and checked it again, he ended up with 13. And come to find out, if we end up doing the stats with him, he's over 600 tackles now for his career. So, I mean, it's not even close about
it. Amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of hits. It's a lot of hits, but he's done a super job in 4 years. And again, he's done a super job of just being the leader for this defense. So we're thankful that we've had him. We're thankful that we get to go with him one more time in the battle, and hopefully he'll add to that total again next week.
Thomas Solomon had 9 tackles, I believe, too.
Thomas did. Thomas did that little short guy.
I know.
I tell you what, he did a super job all night long. He carried the ball for us, so we could take some pressure off of Caleb Snitzer, and he did a super job, and we're helping move the chains, especially in the third and fourth quarter in the second half. And he's tough to bring down. When you have a football player and a wrestler in that combination, he's tough. He's going to be able to be physical, and that's what we needed last night from him.
And when you look at your team, and I think every time I interview you, I say this. The Eagleville defense just doesn't break. I mean, it's just really hard to – and I wouldn't want to face you. If I was an offensive coordinator, I wouldn't want to face your bunch. I mean, they got off to a 6-0 lead, and then they shut them out the rest of the way.
I mean, as our kids were able to just move on. You talk about playing the next play, and we talked about the, championship fight, but that's what our kids have been able to do. Our kids have been able to – if something happens that's not in their favor, they're able to be resilient and just let it go and move on to the next play and not hold on to it. We had a lot of mistakes in that first drive. I mean, we had a lot of penalties. We had busted coverage. We helped them out on that drive, and like you said, they kept it the entire first quarter. I don't think we had an offensive snap until maybe 6 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that in the first quarter. But our kids never flinched. They never wavered. They never had any doubt in their abilities to come back. So you tip your cap off to that group of young men.
We're talking to Floyd Walker, head coach of the Eagleville Eagles here. And I wanted to mention we always seem to – Eagleville can put it together. I think it's the community part of that, though, isn't it? I mean, those boys live together, basically. They hang out on the weekends. It's not like – you live across, you live 4 or 5 miles away. They do stuff together on the weekends too. Is that part of the chemistry there?
It is. It's just part of the school. It's the fabric of the school is what it really is. Because if you've been to our place before. You see how close all the kids are. It's not like any kids treat any kids any different, no matter what type of walk of life they come from. And it's very unique to where you can see a blend of pre-K through 12. And there's a lot of interaction going on between all three of those, grade level students. But there's never any confrontations. It's always one of those deals to where it feels like everybody's trying to look out for everybody else's best interest. And if you can bring that into the athletic part of it too, then you've got something kind of special.
I know with girls after basketball or volleyball, there'd be 4 or 5 girls come over to the house, after a practice or something. And so a lot of times they spend the night. It's crazy. But I think having a home playoff game is, for the fans, that's got to be one of the, almost like a gift to them to have a playoff game that they can enjoy and be enjoy with all their friends, because it's a lot bigger crowd for the home folk.
It is. It's a deal to where it's, like you said, it's kind of like a gift. It's a deal though to where it's playoff football. Everybody knows what the stakes are. It can become very exciting, very emotional, because you know that football is not like baseball or basketball to where you may get beat, but you may end up playing, in a double elimination type of deal. This is one of those deals they know that you get an opportunity to play at home, and it may be the last game of the year. So it's one of those situations to where you feel the excitement, you feel the enthusiasm, and you feel everything that the players on the field feel.
Well, quick take on McKenzie. I don't know anything about him. Do you?
I know.
You usually tell me that you don't.
Well, I mean, you go back and you look over the last 3 to 5 years, McKenzie has been one of the best football programs in 1A. They've either won the state championship or they've gotten beat by South Pitt for the state championship during that span. So we know they're going to be a good football team. They're going to be a well-coached football team. And we're just going to have to go in there and just be us and not worry about what their name on the front of their jersey is. We just got to go take care of ourselves, and if we'll do that, and we'll just see what happens.
I don't know anybody can do it any better just being yourself than the Eagleville.
Oh, no, that's all we're going to do.
I mean, play your game.
Yep,
right.
We're just going to be us.
And how long a drive is that?
I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.5 hours. 2 hours and 45 minutes, something like that.
Y'all been through that before, though.
Oh, yeah, we go straight past to go to Dresden and West Carroll, so we make those trips for the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, good luck to you, and I hope we're sitting here next week and talking about the same thing, about moving on.
I would love for that to happen. Thank y'all so much.
All right, that's Eagleville head coach Floyd Walker of the Eagleville Eagles. A lot of great things going on at Eagleville right now. New fields and stuff being talked about, all kinds of stuff.
Fields.
We'll talk about that later.
Lights.
Yeah.
Lights coming up.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that next time I talk to you. The Coaches Show is brought to you by JHA Company, Josh Houston and Associates, jewelry, letter jackets, yearbooks, graduation products, and more. Online at jhacompany.com. When we come back, it's Cougar Corner.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
It's time to talk MTCS Sports. It's Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA, live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
We're joined by Middle Tennessee Christian School coaches to talk about their most recent games and their upcoming opponents. It's time to talk orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner.
And this is John Dinkins welcoming you to Cougar Corner this morning. MTCS head coach Christian Peterson is with us this morning. And Coach, wow, I don't know what to say. 41-14 win over Fayette Academy last night. I don't think necessarily the win was a surprise, but the score. I mean, it really had control of the game the whole entire way.
Yeah, really proud of our kids. We came out focused. We had talked about it. You get to the postseason, and nothing that's happened before Friday night matters, right? Like it's a whole new season. It's a different level of intensity. The lights are a little bit brighter, and it's going to come down to who executes better on that night. And really proud of how our kids responded and how they played. And always good to get a playoff win. It's hard to win in the playoffs. It doesn't matter what round you're in or how good you are or how good the other team is. It doesn't really matter. Like winning a playoff game is hard, And so to come out and win it and get to go earn yourself another week is always a positive.
I was just thinking about that. When you have a game, a young team like you've got, and trust me, you're young. I mean, do some of the seniors or the older ones, you don't have a lot of them, but do they help go through that motion with those kids and go, hey, this is what to expect and that kind of thing? I mean, is that helpful?
No doubt. I think our seniors have done a really good job all year. And they know, we talk about it, in spring, that our goal is to be playing our best football when the playoffs comes around. Obviously you want to go out and you want to win every game, but at the end of the day, like, you want to peak when the playoffs start, right? Like you want to be playing your best football. And, I think our seniors have gone through enough fires, have seen the ups and downs, and, they've had the heartbreaking losses in the postseason. They've won the gold ball at the end of the year. So, they've been able to kind of be on both sides of it. And, I thought they had a great practice last week, and, our seniors are a big part of that. And, again, just teaching our young guys of how we do things, how this is done, and, how you can be successful when you get into the postseason. Like, that matters, and, we're not very old, but the guys that we have that have been around have seen how it needs to be done in the postseason. And, I think we did a lot of really good things throughout the week, and then we were able to just go out and have fun on Friday.
I know when this season started, probably there were a lot of people out there that would go, well, it's going to be tough. It's just going to be tough. And for some parts of it, it has been. We were at the game where you lost your quarterback and possibly the best player that you had on the team, athletic-wise or whatever, arguably. And to face that kind of crunching blow and then to bounce back from it, it's a pretty amazing story, really. I mean, I don't know that I could, if I were a betting man, I don't know whether I'd bet on you this year either, that you'd make a playoff. And you did, and you won it. So explain a little bit the thoughts going through that, because I know that had to be a tough night against South Pittsburgh. The game, you lost the game, and then you lost your quarterback. And tell us how you kind of rebuilt that back up.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we talk about it. It's process over results, right? Like, obviously everybody wants results, but if especially in this sport, if you're just result oriented, then you're going to get your heart broken a lot, and you're going to ride the emotional roller coaster of the season. And, and especially with a young team, we had to kind of go through some growing pains, right? We had some moments where, we didn't play the way that we know we can play, and so I think all of those things are just going to be a benefit, for the postseason and for, years to come, where, sometimes it doesn't go your way. Mm-hmm. Right. And sometimes you can look back at Monday through Thursday and go, well, that's why it didn't go our way. We didn't have a very good week of practice. I think really we come back from fall break and we had probably our best practices of the year against Kings. I think Monday through Thursday that week we were flying around, we were high energy. It kind of translated to Friday. And then, the youth of our squad, I think the next week we didn't have quite as much juice. It's, look, we won, and you start getting result oriented. You start looking at, we won, so now we're good. And, we don't get the result we want on Friday. And then we get back the following week against Ezel, and I think we have another really good week of practice. And then we win again. And then this past week, I thought we had a really good week of practice. And so they're starting to see the process translate. They're starting to see that Monday through Thursday leads to good things happening on Friday. You don't get to just turn the switch on. Good teams don't just turn the switch on, right? The good teams when Monday comes around, the switch turns on and we're ready to go. And then, again, I think they've been able to kind of grow and see that, right? And they're able to kind of see, as a coaching staff, what we've been preaching come to fruition, right? Like, our best weeks of practice have led to wins. And so it's about being able to stack good Monday through Thursdays. That's how you win football games.
And you've had success doing it, practice how you're going to play, but you've also, again, going back to those seniors and some of the older ones, they know that those things lead to success because they were on those teams that led to success. And that's got to be a tremendous benefit. They're almost like having another little coach there telling them, hey, do what the coach, do this, and this is going to happen for you.
No doubt. When it's just coaches saying it, sometimes you'll get 50% of the team to listen, right? But once it's the coaches and teammates start saying it, that's when you start getting everybody's attention. And that's kind of the sign of a good program is when your kids start kind of saying the same things that you are, especially the ones that have been in the program for a while that have seen the process work, right? And I'm sure our team gets tired of me talking about, like, listen, guys, it's a process. Everything's a process. And but at the same time, like, now they're starting to look at it as we get to this point of the year, and they're starting to go, all right, well, I understand now. Like, I get what he's saying. I understand the process now. I understand the Monday through Thursday leads to Friday. Like, I understand that if we don't make a lot of mistakes in practice, then we're probably not gonna make a lot of mistakes on Friday, but if we're not locked in Monday through Thursday and we're making a bunch of mistakes, then we're probably gonna end up making some mistakes on Friday. And so to kind of watch our young ones kind of grow up and learn that and, kind of just grow and develop, right? And so, we knew, especially early, that we were going to be young. We were going to take some on the chin. And, like we've said all along, like, we want to be playing our best ball at the end of the year. And, we've won 3 of our last 4. And, I thought the offense played really well last night. I thought we were really clean. I thought we were getting to the right guys, and letting our athletes be athletes. I thought defense was very assignment sound. Fayette threw a lot of formations at us. It's kind of what they do. And we were clean. We were getting to the right checks. We were covering the right guys. We just continued to do our job. And so when you start doing that, you start to see the results, right? And then it starts to kind of build that confidence up within the team. And again, just really proud of them. Really proud of our seniors for how they battled all year. Proud of our young guys for how they've just continued to work and continue to get better. And again, it's everyone always talks about the state championship years and all that stuff, but like sometimes these years are just as fun. You watch the light bulb start going off, and it's a lot of fun.
It's kind of just as fulfilling, really. Yeah. I mean, and I think coaches can appreciate that more than maybe the outside person looking in. And like me, for instance, I want to mention some guys. Last night's game, 41-14 win. Bangura rushed 16 times. This is incredible. I thought it was a misprint at first. 16 times for 256 yards with 2 touchdowns. That's incredible. I mean, either the offensive line was doing their job and he was doing his job and put it all together, and it was a great night.
Yeah, no, I think it's a little bit of both. I think up front we probably played our best game. We were clean up front, and you give Ali the ball and just get out of the way sometimes. And he made a couple cuts, especially early, that most kids just can't do. He can do the things you can't coach. And he's one that, again, as he's just continued to learn and as he's continued to trust the process and really understand what we're trying to do and making sure he's pressing the right gap and things like that. And he's got a very bright future. I think he's just under 1,000 yards rushing now.
And he's what year? A freshman.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a point. There's a reason behind I'm asking this. Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to interrupt you. Braden Box had a 44-yard touchdown reception. He's a
senior.
Senior.
Yeah.
And that's the leadership guy.
Yeah.
One of those 10 tackles last night. That's amazing. So not only did the offense, I think we're so excited about the 41 points, but the defense played well too.
They did, especially early, really kind of helps us build that lead. We got down, got a score. They had a long drive. We ended up holding them. And then we score another one, force a fumble. We're able to score quick. Get another stop, and then we hit the big play to box to get up 28-0, and you start rolling like that, you start having fun, and you start bouncing around, and you get into halftime. I think it was 28-7. Had a big blocked field goal right before the half by Owen White, another one of our seniors. Just the seniors.
He had 14 tackles.
Yeah. He had a huge game.
Yeah,
and so he blocks the field goal right going into half, and honestly, our big thing at halftime was trying to calm down a little bit, right?
Yeah.
we were so excited and so bouncing around and again, having fun, which is what we want. But at the same time, like, hey, look, we still have another half of football. We got to come out and play focused.
Because I have seen it where a team gets a lot of, and then they just come out in the second half just flat as they can be. But that really didn't happen. You just kept putting the pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, they come out and have like a 9-minute drive to score. And, I think on our sideline, everyone was kind of like, I mean, if it's going to take them 9 minutes to score, they're never going to catch it.
Exactly.
And, so we ended up getting another one. And, at that point, I think everybody was just fly around, have fun, play football. And so, really proud of them.
That took the pressure off of them, too. Getting out to that lead. It's your first playoff game. You've got a lot of youngsters. That really took pressure off. I mean, in a good way. I mean, it was like, wow, we can have fun and we can kind of enjoy this game a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And, you're playing a team on the other side that had 13 seniors. And so, they're a senior-heavy team and, a team that has gone through a lot of those ups and downs. And so we knew going into it, like, let's start fast. Because, like, if you get a senior-heavy team in the postseason and they start rolling, like, it can snowball quick. So let's come out and play well early. And that our kids responded and did a really good job.
I want to mention one more guy, Shy Murphy. He didn't have a Bangura night, but in most cases, he would be the star of this game. 92 yards on 7 carries. 7 carries, 92 yards. That's an average of okay, never mind. Yeah. I'm not good at math, but I know it's a lot. I know it's at least 10 yards a carry. Anyway.
Yeah. So he had a really big night. Had 3 touchdowns and had another one called back. So really big game. He also had an interception on defense. He's one of the sophomores we got running around, and so. Again, I think our younger guys are starting to see it. Shy's had some moments this year where, man, if he would have just pressed it a little tighter, he might have had a huge play, right?
Yeah.
And so we've been talking about it, and he's so fast. He's the fastest guy on our team. It ain't close. And so you saw him last night be able to put his foot in the ground and hit the hole exactly where we needed him to hit it. Now he's able to turn those 6-7 yard hard runs that he was having into 25-yard touchdowns. And, again, then he turns around and goes and plays corner for us. And so really proud of him, really proud of how he played. And then, Briggs doesn't have the numbers on the stat sheet that the others did. But, again, having him back in the backfield is so big. Having that calming influence at quarterback. He runs for almost 40 and then went 1 for 2. With big touchdown pass to Box, and then threw a great ball on a go ball to Shy, and defender made a heck of a play. But he stepped into it and he let it go. I think it's the farthest I've ever seen him throw a football.
Yeah, it's good to have him back. I mean, that's especially playoff time. It couldn't have worked out any better for you. All right, you got Nashville Christian. We all know. We don't have to look it up. I mean, they're really good, and you travel there. What's the preparation like this week? I know it won't change, really, will it? I mean, the process is the process. See, you've got me doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. We don't. You go out, you do what you do, right? You go out and you go through the same process you normally would. And listen, we everybody knows, right? They're the favorite. They're supposed to win it. They're supposed to go win a gold ball this year. Jeff Brothers has done a great job. He's got dudes all over the place. But like I told our kids on Friday night, let's go shock the world.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're playing with house money at this point, right? Like no one expected us to be here. We weren't supposed to win the first round game. We did. So like let's go roll the ball out. Maybe we win, maybe we don't. I don't know, but like we have a chance. Right? There's a whole lot of teams sit at home right now that would beg to have that chance. And so we have the chance, and let's go have a good Monday through Thursday, and let's go play our best football game. And if we play the best that we can play, I can live with whatever kind of wins or loss. But, at the end of the day, we've given ourselves a chance. And, that's all you can ask for in high school sports.
I just think it's been a really a learning season for the kids, and when you look back at this season, no matter win or loss next week, you got 5 wins out of this group, and maybe 6 if you win. It's get even better if we win next week, and with all the kind of the injury situations, those kind of things, that's amazing. I mean, and I'm kind of seeing what everybody else I think on the outside sees. stats ever looking better. A freshman, Van Guro. I mean, that's another example. And I don't want to get too much into the future, but I know it's bright. I mean, it looks good, and I'm just really proud of them. I know that you are, but let's don't talk about it too much because I don't want you to, lose your coaching mojo there. Is that game at Nashville Christian? What do they throw out there at you? What is the main concern with them, or what you got to look for?
I mean, you got to start with Jared Curtis, the number one quarterback in the country. Yeah. He's a really good player. We haven't seen him in person. I've seen him play in person a couple times when they played other people. Big physical kid, impressive looking kid. Can throw it a mile. Can fit it into small windows. They're big everywhere. They got, big linebackers, big running backs. They got skill kids that can go. They're very balanced, and they can throw a lot of things at you. For us, we've just got to play assignment sound football and, try and compete and go up and try and make plays on passes and, try and force him to make some bad decisions. And, similar to Friday, you come out and try and start fast, right? You start fast, maybe we can get them feeling the pressure a little bit and, try and stack some good drives together and, again, try and make them nervous. Again, we're playing with house money.
Yeah.
And there should be no nerves for us. Like we're just going out there and we're going to go play football.
Right.
The whole world expects them to win. And so if we can make it weird early, then they're the ones that are going to kind of feel that pressure.
Yeah. The pressure's really on them. I mean, they want to have a good showing as well. But like you said, you got nothing to lose. I mean, nobody expects you to, I don't know that anybody expects you to be here, at this point against them. So, just a tremendous year. And good luck next week. I did want to mention a couple of things that are going on at MTCS before I let you go. I know basketball season's starting, and that's going to be exciting. They've got a big year coming up. You just had a great volleyball year. I mean, anything else that you want to talk about or even mention somebody, that's fine. This is your open forum right here, Coach.
Yeah, just had our steak dinner this past Thursday, which is always a really good event. Again, I think it's just another example of the community at MTCS. I walk out there, and then also that same night I walk out onto the football field. We've got 4 guys out there working on our field. All the 4 of my coaches, they're out there, they're painting it, they're rolling it, they're, getting everything set up. And, you walk out there on Friday nights and it looks fantastic. Mm-hmm. And, again, just the amount of effort and time that the community and the support that we get is just top notch. And, the crowd was loud last night and it was fun. And, again, now we've earned that opportunity to go play another game. And so, like we told our kids all week, like, enjoy it, guys. Like there's a whole lot of people sitting at home that wish they had one more game.
Yeah.
There's people that have put their pads up for the last time and they're never going to wear them again. And, like I tell our seniors, like, go out and earn one more game. And then if we win that one, now we'll go earn one more. Don't start looking 2-3 games ahead, right? Like, just go win this one and try and go earn yourselves one more game. And then, it's the postseason. It gets weird, right? And there's teams that have been good all year sometimes don't play well. Teams that have been bad all year all of a sudden play pretty good, and teams that have been middle of the road, all of a sudden they can't miss a pass or whatever. And, postseasons are always weird, and so for us, it's just about, let's go out and play football, right?
Yeah. And, you mentioned the fact about community too, and I've talked to Floyd at Eagleville. That community means so much to you guys and to those kids, and they know that there's a lot of love there, and they just kind of wrap them around like they're their own kids, don't they? I mean, it's just one big family, and that helps you get to do the things that you need to focus on, not worrying about outside sources, because they're all there for you.
Absolutely. I think I've mentioned it before. I think the community is the best thing about MTCS. People genuinely care, and so, like, that matters. That's always a big thing, especially when you're in coaching, is you always want to be at a school that cares. And, and we have that at MTCS. People want to be successful, but they also want the kids to be successful, whether that's athletics, academics, whatever. The crowds at every sporting event that we're in are always good. Doesn't matter what sport we're playing, baseball, softball, volleyball, football, it doesn't matter. There's people that are going to be there. They're going to be loud. There's going to be cheers. And so, again, just really blessed to be in a great spot, and, blessed with some good kids that are still learning, right? And they're high school boys. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do some dumb stuff. But as a coaching staff, we talk about all the time, like, if when they leave here, the only thing they say about us is we taught them how to play football, that we didn't do our jobs, right? And so, there's always learning experiences. There's always, development and growth and everything else. And, again, I'm really proud of how our kids have grown throughout the year, and, definitely excited to see what they put on the field.
And I've always thought this about football more than probably any other sport, baseball, basketball, not knocking the other sports, but when it comes to the part of life kind of thing, because there's so many obstacles, there's injuries, there's working together as a team, there's not getting too high, too low. I mean, going to the weight room, everything physically. I mean, that to me helps people grow into good human beings.
No doubt. I mean, in football, it can't be one person. Yeah, like if you have one person, you're not going to be very good.
Yeah.
It takes all 11 on the field, and then really it takes your whole roster Monday through Thursday, right? Like if only the starters go hard Monday through Thursday, we're not getting a good look. And our scout team guys our scout team's full young guys, right? And they've been giving us a really good look. They've kind of grown and developed as well. And again, just that's what it takes. It takes the guys who maybe you don't hear their names on Friday nights right now, giving us a really good look Monday through Thursday and helping the guys who are playing right now go. And, it's also ways of getting on the field. Jake Latimer is a perfect example. Early on in the year, he was a great great scout team guy, worked really hard. We were struggling to block him. And so as a coaching staff, we were able to get him, and he just kind of moved up the depth chart on defense. Now he starts for us at the end. And it all started from how hard he played on scout team, and he earned himself reps on defense. And so, again, like, you always want to reward those kids that are giving good effort. And, really excited for him. He's grown a ton since we got him in summer. He moved here. And so to watch his growth has been a lot of fun. And again, not a name that necessarily shows up on the stat sheet a lot, but how hard he's worked. It's really a testament, and getting to play more and more as the season's gone on.
That's a good way to end it, Coach, right there.
Absolutely.
Good luck next week, and we'll be talking to you next week, and hopefully we're going to have a Cougar victory to talk about.
Absolutely.
All right. That's Coach Christian Peterson, the head coach of the Cougars, and MTCS Cougar Corner. We'll take a little break, and then Brian Baird will be back to wrap things up.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically, because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
It's MTCS Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
On FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Back here to give you a few scores from this past week. MTCS scores. Middle school boys soccer, a 1-0 win over Clarksville Academy. Also this week, middle school soccer girls defeating Good Pasture in the quarterfinals. And middle school girls also over Nashville Christian 5-0 in the quarterfinals. Before we get to some girls basketball here, 5th and 6th grade, it was 19-16 Mount Juliet Christian Academy beating MTCS 5th and 6th grade girls, but the boys beat Mount Juliet Christian 42-4. It was MTCS girls soccer falling in the finals versus PCA in the TIAA finals by a final score of 5-1. There's been some swimming and such this week. Of course, football last night. You've got cheer competitions going on this weekend, basketball next week as well, and, of course, a big football game as Middle Tennessee Christian School travels to Nashville Christian next Friday night. And that is a brief look at the Cougar Corner scoreboard and schedule. Be sure to check wgnsradio.com or wgnssports.com for the Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard and schedule next Friday night with the results from last night. It's Riverdale versus Blackman. That game will be on air. Riverdale versus Blackman, and that'll be from Riverdale. Oakland hosts Mount Juliet. Stewart's Creek will host Brentwood. Eagleville goes to McKenzie, and the Cougars go to Nashville Christian. Want to thank my broadcast partners John Dinkins and Danny Brewer this morning, our producer Dalton Barrett. Hope you will stay tuned. That's going to wrap up the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner and MTCS Cougar Corner. And coming up next, we've got Middle Tennessee football. It's the salute to veterans as the Blue Raiders take on Liberty. Pre-game show coming up next. We've got men's basketball later on this evening as well. So sit back, enjoy a day of sports. Have a great Saturday out there, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hello friends, Lenny Farmer with Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home. More than I can count, we have taken care of families who were totally caught off guard with the passing of a loved one. There are so many details to tie up, it really can be overwhelming. Again, more than I can count are the comments from families who have pre-planned and pre-funded their or their loved one's funeral, saying, "It would have been a financial hardship had we not." Let me help your pre-plan. Call me at 615-893-2422.
Upgrade your home's comfort with Roscoe Brown & Carrier smart thermostats. Yep, they're smarter than me. Our cutting-edge technology learns your habits, adjusting your home's temperature for ultimate comfort, all while saving on energy costs. Experience the convenience of controlling your HVAC system. Just click of a button on your phone.
Two powerful FM signals, one AM signal, and worldwide on WGNSradio.com. You can listen to us anywhere. We are WGNS Murfreesboro.
I'm Ron Jordan.
It's a Blue Raider game day.
To the 20, to the 10, touchdown! One play for 6. How about that?
Welcome to the Blue Raider Tailgate Show. The Blue Raider Tailgate Show is presented by Window World of Murfreesboro, the official window and exterior remodeling company of Blue Raider Athletics. Your Middle Tennessee Ford dealer.